Namaste. Sorry, setting up stuff. Okay, Rumble is having problems. Is it to be expected? So, okay, now I'm ready. Okay, so I decided to post on both Rumble and Twitch. See if that works. If it doesn't, then I have no choice but to just stream it on Rumble. Okay. Namaste. Ata sabudada shotyaya shiradita traya vipaga yoga Arjuna uvacha. Let me just record myself also. I'm doing a lot of things now at once. Yeah. Shastrabhiti mutasrijya. Shastrabhiti mutasrijya. Yajanante Shradata Yanan Vitahu Teshum Vishutu Duga Guru Shuno Satavamaho Rajasatamaho Shri Bhagavanubhacha Trivita Pavati Shradata Tehinam Sa Sivapavaja Satviki Rajasi Jaiva Tamasi Jati Tam Shrunu Satvanurupa Saivasya Shradata Pavati Parata Shradata Mayoyam Purusho Yo Yakachradataha Sa Eva Saha Yajanante Satvika Devaniyakusharakushomsi Rajasaha Pretanam Putakanam Shichaita Shicha Pretanam Putakanam Shichanie Yajanante Tamasa Janaha Asha Sutra Vihitam Koram Tapyanante Ye Tapo Janaha Tamampa Hangangara Samyukta Tamampa Hangangara Samyukta Kamara Gaba Lanan Kamala Gabalanan Vitahu Karshoyanantahu Sharirasitam Putagrama Machetasahu Mam Jaibanantahu Shari Rasitam Danan Viditiya Suranishajayanan Aharasatvapi Saivasya Trivito Pavati Puriyahu Yajinya Sitapasitata Danam Teshum Pedamimam Shurunu Ayuho Sattva Bala Rogya Sukhat Ayuho Sattva Bala Rogya Sukapuri Vipaltina Ayuho Sattva Bala Rogya Sukapuri Ayuho Sattva Bala Rogya Sukapuri Vipaltana. Sorry. आयुः सत्वा बलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्याः स्निग्धाः स्थिराः हृदयाः आहाराः सात्विकप्रियाः कट्टवामुला लाभानोति उष्णोति कुशनरु कुशविदाहिनः आहारा राजसस्येषु तुहकशोकामयप्रदाः यातायामं कतरसां पूति पर्युषुयितां च यत् उकुच्छिषितमपि चामेथ्यां भोजनं तामसप्रियम् अफलाकाङ्कुशिभिर्याजिन्यो विथितरशुत्वो या इज्याते याशुतव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय सात्विकः अभिसन्धाय तु फलं तमपि चैव यत् इज्याते भरतशिरशुठो तं याजिन्यां विदधि राजसम् विथिः नाम सुरशुटो न विथिः नाम सुरशुटो. Sorry, I slept only 2 hours. Somebody woke me up on purpose. So I'm doing worse than usual. Vitihi nama surashuto vitihi nama surashuto nanam manantarahi namadakushinom manantarahi namadakushinom shradata virahitam yajinyam tamasam parichakushote Veda Devija Guru Veda Deva Devija Guru Purajinya Pujanam Shauchama Javam Brahmacharya Mahimsa Cha Shariram Tapa Ujyate Anudvegakaram Bhakyam Satyam Puriyahitam Cha Yat Svathyaya Pyasanam Chaiva Vangamayam Tapa Ujyate Manahu Prasadahu Saumyatvam Maunamatmapi Maunamatmapi Nigrahahu Pava Samshuddhirityat Pava Samshuddhirityat Tapo Manasa Muchyate Shiradataya Paraya Taputam Tapasutat Trivitam Naraiho Apalakangankushui Piryuk Apalakangankushui Piryukutaiho Satvikam Parichakushote Satkaramana Pujaitham Tapo Tamumpena Jaiva Yat Kriyate Dadiha Prokutam Rajasam Jalamaturubam Mutakra Henotmano Yatapidoya Kriyate Tapaho Parasyote Sadhana Altam Va Tatetam Asamuda Hrutam Da Tavyamiti Yadadanam Diyatenupakarinue Deshe Kale Cha Patre Cha Tadadanam Satvikam Sumuratam Yatatu Pratyupakaraltam Palamudadishya Va Punahu Diyate Cha Parikalishatam Tadu Danam Rajasam Sumuratam Adeshakale Yadadanamapa Terapyashacha Diyate. Oh, I thought it was the end. Asatakuru Asatakurata Asatakuru Asatakurata Asatakurata Mabajinyatam Tatetamasa Muda Huritam Tatasaditi Nildesho Brahmanas Sutribitaho Sumuritaho Brahmano Sitena Veda Shicha Yajinya Shicha Vihitaho Pura Tasama Domitiuda Hurtia Yajinyada Natapaho Kriyaho Prabaltanante Vitanokataho Satatam Brahmabadinam Tadityana Pisanan Taya Palam Yajinyatapaho Kriyaho Dana Kriya Shicha Bibitaho Kriyanante Mokushakangan Gushuipiho Sadupabe Satupabe Cha Saditya Tatapura Yujiate Purashasute Kaimanui Tata Sakuchabud Sakuchabudaho Paita Yujiate Yajinye Tapasi Tane Cha Sititiho Saditi Jojiate Kaima Jaiva Tadaitiyam Sadityeva Pitiyate Ashraditaya Hutam Tatatam Tapasatapatam Gurutam Cha Yat Asaditi Ujiate Paita Na Cha Tatapuratia No Iha Tatesaditi Shri Mad Bhagavad Gita Supanishatusu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Sutras Shri Guru Shonol Juna Sambade Shradha Traya Vibhaga Yogo Nama Sabuddha Shotyaya Namaste. Yeah, sorry. It's every day it's something. Today I haven't slept because God didn't want me to sleep. Arjuna said, "What is the state of Guru Shuna, of those who, abandoning the ordinances of the scriptures, perform sacrifices and deal with faith? Is it one of goodness or passion or darkness?" The Holy One said, "The faith of embodied is of three kinds. It is born of their natures. It is good, passionate, and dark. Hear now these. The faith of one, Oparata, is conformable to his own nature. A being here is full of faith, and whatever is one's faith, one is even that. They that are of the quality of goodness worship the gods. They that are of the quality of passion, the yakshas and the rakshas. Other people that are of the quality of darkness worship departed spirits and hosts of Buddhas. Those people who practice severe ascetic austerities, not ordained by the scriptures, given up to hypocrisy and pride, and endue with desire, attachment, and violence. Those persons possessed of no discernment, torturing the groups of organs in the bodies, and me also seated within the bodies, should be known to be of demoniac resolves. Food, which is dear to all, is of three kinds. Sacrifice, penance, and gifts are likewise. Listen to their distinctions as follows. those kinds of food that increase life's period, energy, strength, health, well-being, and joy, which are savory, oleaginous, nutritive, and agreeable, are liked by the good. Those kinds of food which are bitter, sour, salted, overhot, pungent, dry, and burning, and which produce pain, grief, and disease, are desired by the passionate. The food which is cold, without savor, stinking, corrupt, and which is even refuse, and filthy, is dear to men of darkness. That sacrifice is good, which, being prescribed by the ordinance, is performed by persons without any longing for the fruit, and the mind being determined that its performance is a duty. But that which is performed in expectation of fruit, and even for the sake of ostentation, know that sacrifice, O chief of the sons of Bharata, to be of the quality of passion. That sacrifice which is against the ordinance, in which no food is dealt out, which is devoid of manantras, in which no fees are paid to the Brahmanos assisting at it, and which is void of faith, is said to be of the quality of darkness. Reverence to the gods, regenerate ones, preceptors, and men of knowledge, purity, uprightness, the practices of a brahmacharin, and abstention from injury are said to constitute the penance of the body. The speech which causeth no agitation, which is true, which is agreeable and beneficial, and the diligent study of the Vedas are said to be of the penance of speech. Serenity of the mind, gentleness, taciturnity, self-restraint, and purity of the disposition, these are said to be the penance of the mind. These threefold penance performed with perfect faith by men without desire of fruit, and with devotion, is said to be of the quality of goodness. That penance which is performed for the sake of respect, honor, and reverence, with hypocrisy, which is unstable and transient, is said to be of the quality of passion. That penance which is performed under a deluded conviction, with torture of one's self and for the destruction of another, is said to be of the quality of darkness. That gift which is given because it ought to be given to one who cannot return any service for it, in a proper place at a proper time, and to a proper person, is said to be of the quality of goodness. That, however, which is given reluctantly for return of services, or even with an eye to fruit, that gift is said to be of the quality of passion. In an unfit place, and at an unfit time, the gift that is made to an unworthy object, without respect, and with contempt, is said to be of the quality of darkness. Tat, Sat, this is said to be the threefold designation of Brahma. By that the Brahmanos and the Vedas and the sacrifices were ordained of old. Therefore, uttering the syllable the sacrifices, gifts, and penances prescribed by the ordinance of all utterers of Brahma begin. Uttering Tat, the various rites of sacrifice, penance, and gifts, without expectation of fruit, are performed by those that are desirous of deliverance. Sat is employed to denote existence and goodness. Likewise, O son of Brita, the word Sat is used in any auspicious act. Constancy in sacrifices, in penances, and in gifts is also called Sat, and an act too for the sake of that is called Sat. Whatever oblation is offered, whatever is given away, whatever penance is performed, whatever is done without faith is, O son of Brita, said to be of the opposite of Sat, and that is not both here and hereafter. Okay, I'm going to take a little break before Bhagavad Gita, and it's chapter 81. Just going to vape a little nicotine. It helps me. I can't help it, but it helps me. What happened? Okay. So tomorrow is once again the last chapter of Bhagavad Gita. I think I did it twice online. And it's gonna be ongoing from chapter 1 to 18 until I memorize the whole thing. Yeah. Okay. Nicotine. Okay, so it's Rig Veda, chapter 81. Oh, it's not too long. It's long. Not too long. Okay. Namaste. Inundro Madaya Ba Burud Ba Burud Ba Burute Shabase Burutraha Nurupiho Taminu Mahat Subhajiv Taminu Mahat Subhaji Shu Malpe. Sorry, 1 second. Music is a little too loud. Spotify. Quiet. Okay. Taminu Mahat Subhaji Shu Malpe. Taminu Mahat Subhaji Shu. Tasamin Mahat Subhaji Shu Malpe. Habamahe Sa Bajeshu Bra Nobishatu. Asi hi vira seniosi puri paradadiho asi naprasya jiduburuto yajamanaya shikushosi sunumbate puri te pasu yadudirata ajayo Trushnove Tiyate Tana Yukushivan Madachiutan Hari Kim Gam Hanaho Gam Paso Nato Tatosumam Inundra Basao Dataho Grativan Maham Anushibatam Pima A Baburute Shabahu Shriya Rashiva Upa Kayolni Shipuri Haribanandate Hasata Yolbajrama Yasamu A Paprao Tivam Rajo Badubate Rochana Divi Na Tvavam Inundra Kashachana Na Jato Na Janishyoteti Vishivam Babakushuita Yo Ario Malta Pojanam Paradadati Dashushue Inundro Asmapiam Shikushotu Vi Paja Puri Te Vasu Pakushriya Dava Ratasaho Made Hi No Madiriu Ta Gavamuru Jukra Tuhu Sam Gurupaya Puru Shatopaya Hasatya Pasu Shishihi Raya Para Madayasava Sute Sacha Chavase Shura Ratase. Sorry. Viduma Hi Deva Puru Vasumupa Kamanansa Surujuma Heta Kamanan Sasuru Juma Heta Nobita Pava. Alright. Last verse. Ete ta inundra Janantabo Bishivam Bushionanti Mariam Anantalhi Kyo Janana Mario Vedo Ada Shushum Deshum No Veda A Para. Namaste. I thought I was going to have a harder time. The men have lifted Indra up, the Vrutra slayer, to joy and strength. Him verily we invocate in battles, whether great or small. He be our aid in deeds of might. Thou hero art a warrior, thou art giver of abundant spoil, strengthening even the feeble. Thou aidest the sacrificer, thou givest the offerer ample wealth. When war and battles are on foot, booty is laid before the bold. Yoke thou thy wildly rushing babes, whom wilt thou slay and whom enrich? Do thou, O Inundra, make us rich. Mighty through wisdom as he lists, terrible he hath waxed in strength. Lord of base deeds, strong-jawed, sublime, he in joined hands for glory's sake hath grasped his iron thunderbolt. He filled the earthly atmosphere and pressed against the lights in heaven. None like thee ever hath been born, none in Indra will be born like thee. Thou hast waxed mighty over all. May he who to the offerer gives the foeman's man-sustaining food, may Inundra lend his aid to us. Deal forth, abundant is thy wealth, that in thy bounty I may share. He righteous-hearted at each time of rapture gives us herds of kine. Gather in both thy hands for us treasures of many hundred sorts. Sharpen thou us and bring us wealth. Refresh thee, hero, with the juice outpour for bounty and for strength. We know thee, Lord of ample store, to thee have sent our heart's desires. Be therefore our protector thou. These people in Inundra keep for thee all that is worthy of thy choice. Discover thou as Lord the wealth of men, who offer up no gifts. Bring thou to us this wealth of theirs. Okay. Let me take that down. And let me make a note to myself so I know where I am tomorrow. Tomorrow is Rig Veda, Book 1, Chapters 82. Okay. I'm intimidated by this illegible printing. Okay, here we go. So today is, let me fix that here. Sutra starting at 20. I'm still online, yay. I can't believe Twitch cut me off. Namaste. Vyakyatam Durusya Mata Durashtuha Durusya Mata. Sorry, I had to read it twice. Starting here. Durashtuha Sivarupa Vatarano Tamidamara Piate Durashtu Durushima Durahu Shudutopi To or Ko Shudukopi or Topi, that printing or the style or both messing me up, man. Shuduto and what's say for those who are just joining in, I use 4 versions. I use the most legible version as my primary version. Why? Because it has the most alternatives. The text has been altered since it's been 5,000 years or longer, and you can't just rely on one source. And the version that I'm using has the most alternatives, because the other 3 versions don't even mention if there are alternatives or not. They just write it in their own version. That's why I use the one that I use. The problem with that is it's really not legible, because the person who scanned it I guess didn't pay attention that well, or the book itself is not very readable. It's also one of the older versions. I just lost my place. Sorry, so bear with me until because I don't want to read the wrong thing. That's, This is another good version that I'm looking at here, but it's not too accurate. And just like the other two other versions that I don't use. Shuddhito. So I'm gonna go with Shuddhito. Shuddhitopi pratyayanu Turushimatra iti turiku shaktireva Visheshono paramurushatue Dialtaho Visheshona Visheshono paramurushatue Murushatue Visheshono paramurushatue Dialtaho. Sorry, this word here, I'm having a difficult time. I haven't slept very well. My kaima. Vishesho no para murishu tue. Vishesho no para murishu tue. Vishesho no para murishu tue. Vishesho no para murishu tue tahu. Vishesho no para murishu tue. Vishesho no para murishu tue. Sorry. That's why I use nicotine. Otherwise, I'll be pulling my hair out. So, just nicotine, nothing else. Okay. Vishesho no para murishu tue. I'll take it. Sa Purusho Buddhateho Prati Sambeti Sa Buddhatelna Sarupo Na Tianantam Virupa Iti Na Tabat Sarupaho Kasmat Jinyata Vishwayat Parinom Jinyata Vishwayat. Sorry. Concentrate. Jinyata Vishwayat Parinomini. He. I just want to make sure I didn't miss another word from there. Okay, he. Yeah, this is fuzzy. Mudatiho Tasya Shitya Bishoyo Gabadilka Dodilba Gabadilkato Gabadilkato Dilba. One more. Gabadilkato Dilba. And this has an alternative. So that's why I like this version, because it lists the changes. The texts have been altered. Number 1. It says Tishujang. What am I looking? Tishujang. Wow. Gabadilkato Dishujang. What else? Jinyata Shujang. Huh. Oh wow, so it has a different version. So I'm gonna read that one first. Jati. So I'll just go here. Jinyata jinyata shijati. That's another version, and the original, or this one is jinyata shijati. Parino mituvam daishayati. Ooh. Yeah, it's not recommended to read the same words twice in Sanskrit, because you might mess up that easy word later on, just like I did. Daishayati. Okay, I said it twice. Okay. Sadang jinyata vishayatavam tu purushasya parino mitavam pariti payati kasamat nahi buddhatishaja nama. Is that nama? Is that na? Na, okay. Purusho Vishwayashacha Syada Guruhita. And number 2 and number 3. So this word has 2 versions. And it's really fuzzy. Oops. I missed something here. And that's not legible. Dilshati. So I'm gonna go back to number 1 and try to read this thing here. Or maybe I could check with the other versions to see if they're using that alternative text. Purushayashit. Where was number 1? Kavati kato diva kavadi. Okay, diva, I use the same version. Kavadi kato tishicha. That's another version that this was referencing. Tishicha. And diva. And this has dishata. That's the best I could make out of that word. That fuzziness. Tishicha. So dishata. That's what I'm gonna read it as. So I'm gonna go back here. Kavadi kato dilbata. That's not ba, that's sha. As far as I could tell. Kavadi kato dilba. Kavadi kato dilshata. Kavadi kato dilshata. Kavadi kato dilshata. I'll take that. Yeah. Now I'm gonna continue reading this here. Jinyata shijati parino mitavam daishayati. Sorry, I had to go back because I missed something. Now I have to read everything afterwards. Sada jinyata vishayatavam tu purushasya parino mitavam pariti payati kasmat nahi buddhatishacha nama purusho vishayashacha. And syada guruhita. And number 2 once again was syada bahita prahita. Syad Grihita. It divides one word into two. Jagrihita Syada Syada Hita. I can't make that out for the life of me. Where was I? Sian. Syad Grihita. That's not Gri. That's not Grihita. And this one says Syada Grihita. Syada Grihita. Syad Syad Syada Grihita Jati. Syada Hita Prahita. Okay, I'm gonna just look at this style and compare it to this one. Oof. That's Gra, not Pura. Okay. Syada Hita Grahita, where it's Syadata Hita Syadata Hita Grahita, or I'm gonna pronounce that the other way again. Syadata Hita Grahita, or Syadva Hita Grahita. Did I cover everything? Syada Hita Grahita. Okay. Moving on. And number 3. Je. I hope that's not what I think it is. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to make it smaller. The problem with smaller letters is I tend to make more mistakes in reading it. That's why, da, je. So number 3 skips this word here. And since I read this with 3 other versions, I'm gonna move on to here. I'm not gonna skip words. Gruhita Jati Siddham Purushasya Sadang Jinyata Vishayatvam Tatashicha Parino Mitavamiti Kim Cha Paralta Buddhatiho Samhatyaka Rivat Samhatyaka Ritvat Savaltaho Purusha Iti Tata Saivalta Diabasa Yatva Saivalta Diabasa. It's this word here. And this triple, so there are 2 versions of reading that the character. So I'll do it both. Saivalta Diaba Saivalta Diabasa Yat Saivalta Diabasa Yakatva Katariguno. That sounds better than what I'm gonna read now. Saivalta Tiabasa Yakatva Tatari. I can't even say it. Saivalta Tiabasa Yakatva Tatari Guno. I'll read the original again so you could differentiate the 2. And it's this character here, just 3 syllables before the last one. Saibalta Tiavasa Yakataba Kateriguno. Sounds so much better. Buddhati Satri Gunatbada Jataneti. Buddhati Satri Gunatbada Jataneti. Just gonna double so fuzzy that I can be so sure. Guna, right? Buddhati. Yeah, okay. Gunonam tu padrashito tu padrashito. Okay. Purusha ityato na sarupaha asutu talhi virupa iti. Where is iti? Don't tell me they didn't use that ending in this verse. That's why I don't read this version even though it says iti. So asutu talhi virupa iti. Moving on. Na tianantam virupaha kasmat shudutopia sao. Now I'm checking the obvious because I'm insecure. Yeah, cool. Yay. Pratyayamupashyo yataha pratyayam Bauddhamanupashyati. And because it's fuzzy, I'll have to double check. Pratya Bauddha. Okay. Tamanupashyanana tadatmapi tadatmaka iti iva. Sorry, that's what happens. Tadatmaka iva pratyabhasate. Iva. Please let it be Iva. Yeah. Tata chokutamu aparino mini hi pokuturu shakutira prati samkrama cha parino mini alte prati samkranan tabe prati samkranan teva taduburutati manu patati tasya shicha praputa chaitanyo pagraharu praputa chaitanyo pagraharu paya buddhati burita nutera nukarama trataya. Okay. Buddhati tera nukarama trataya. Buddhati tiya visheshit. Buddhati tiya visheshit. Yeah. Number one. I'm gonna, when I get to the end, I'm gonna just check this thing here. Number one. What could it be? Pritityavi. Prititya. So there's another syllable. Buddhati Prititya Vishishito. It's easier. Jnana Buddhati Jnana Buddhati Ritya. Jnana Buddhati Ritya Kya Yate. And let me just double check. I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like. I'm insecure. I need to check it. What was that word? Tadu burutu dimanu. Tadu. Tadu. I can't even find it. Tadu burutu dimanu. Okay. Alright, so that was 20. This version. The object of sight has been explained. Now this sutra is introduced with the intent of determining what the seer as such is. The seer, who is nothing but seeing, although undefiled, looks upon the presented idea. And once again, I don't read the words within the brackets. When you read the Sanskrit, it becomes a hindrance to understanding. Who is nothing but seeing means who is nothing but the power of seeing untouched by any qualifications. This self becomes conscious by reflection of the thinking substance. He is not homogeneous with the thinking substance, nor utterly heterogeneous. Why is it not even heterogeneous? Because the thinking substance is something that enters into mutations, inasmuch as an object is known or not known. Okay. And the fact that an object, for instance a cow or a water jar, is sometimes known and sometimes not known, proves that the thinking substance is something which enters into mutations. Whereas the fact that, in the case of the self, its object is always known, proves that the self does not enter into mutations. Why? Because it surely is not possible for the thinking substance to be an object to the self and at the same time be something now comprehended and something again not comprehended. Hence it is proved that the self always knows its object, and from this it follows that the self does not enter into mutations. Moreover, the thinking substance exists for the sake of another, since it acts by combining causes, whereas the self exists for its own sake. And thus, the thinking substance is a complex of the three aspects, because it determines each thing. And since it consists of the three aspects, it is animate. The self, on the other hand, is that which later beholds the aspects. Hence it is not homogeneous with it. Then, suppose the self to be heterogeneous. It is not utterly heterogeneous. Why? Because though pure in itself, the self beholds the presented ideas. That is to say, it beholds that which is a presented idea of thinking substance. Looking upon this, the self seems to be it, although it really is not it. And in this sense it has been said, for the power of the enjoyer enters not into mutation, nor unites. Seeming to unite with the thing in mutation, it conforms itself to the fluctuation. And it is commonly termed the fluctuation of the thinking substance, insofar as it resembles a fluctuation of thinking substance that has come under the influence of intelligence. And I think it gets really short from now, so yeah, maybe not, maybe, yeah. So it's short sutras, which means that equals lots of changes, because I'm gonna get through a lot of them. And if you're just joining, if you're from Rambo, I read the whole book over and over and over. This is my 4th or 5th time reading the whole book. It took me about two months, maybe a little over 2 months to read it the first time. The last time I read it took me less than like a month and a half. So it gets easier and easier. That's the way Sanskrit works. So, okay. Namaste. Tadalta eva Turushyasya Turushyasya Turushirupasya Purushasya Kaimarupapa Kaimarupatamapananam. Number 2. What could it be? I'm scared. Kaima Vishayata Kaima Vishoyatama Pananam. Starting from here. Turishyamiti Tadalta Eva. Turishyasya number 3. 3 is the same 3 in Sanskrit or Hindi. Hindi is not Sanskrit once again. Sanskrit is an Aryan language. Hindi is an Asian language. What's the difference? Siva. So another version doesn't use this word here. But for my purposes, I read everything. So I get familiarized with what's out there. Because by the time I get to reading the whole book about 18 times, I'll probably figure out which is the correct one somewhat. Pavati, not all of it, but a little bit. Svarupam Pavati Dhyaytaha, number 4. Tattva Svaru. Tattva Svarupam. And this version says Svarupam tu Svarupam tu Pararu Peno. Just double checking because it was fuzzy. Para. Where's para? Yeah, I don't use this version. It's not consistent. Paradu Peno, so they moved. Never mind. Paradu Peno, Pratilabhata Makam, Poga Pabalgal Tata, Poga Pabalgal Tata Yam, Purutayam, Purushweno Na, Turushyata Iti. I didn't miss anything. Svarupam Svarupahana Dasya, number 1. So fuzzy. Nadu Turushyatan, Nadu Turushyana, Nadu Turushyana, Nadu Turushyana, Nadu. Nadasya Nashaha. What say you? This is my 3rd version. Svarupahana Dasya. Svarup. Svarupahana, so it's the same thing. Svarupahana Dasya, same thing. Svarupahana Dasya. So they all use the same thing, but this lists an alternative. Nadu Trishyana, Nadu Trishyana. I'm gonna just read that as Nadu. I think that's tu. Nadu Trishyana, Nadu Trish. Svaru Pahana Nasha. Oh, I got it. Okay. Svaru Pahana Svaru Pahana Dudrushyana Shahu. Okay. Na Shahu Praputo Na Tu Vinashyati. I wish it weren't so fuzzy. I'm complaining to God. The being of the object of sight is only for the sake of it, since the object of sight is changed insofar as it becomes the object of the action of the self, with so much seeing. The being of the object of sight, that is to say, the object of sight itself, exists only for the sake of the self. But inasmuch as it is itself only so long as it has acquired its being as having the form of another, it is not seen by the self when once it has accomplished the purpose of the self, experience and liberation. So by escaping from itself, it attains cessation, but it does not utterly cease to be. Namaste. Kasmat Gurutai Tam Prati Nashitam Apya Nashitam Tadanyasa Tara Notavat. Gurutai Tamekam Gurutai Tamekam Purusham Prati Durushyam Nashitam Api. Sure. I'm pretty sure it's sure. Why am I looking it up even? Nashitamaphi Nasham Praputamapya Nashitam Tadanya Purusho Sadharanotvat. Kushalam Purusham Prati Nasham Praputamapya Kushalan Praputamapya. This word here. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Prati. Why? Kushan Prati. Okay. Number 2. Pratya Kuru. Pratya Kuru. Pratya. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya Krita Tamiti. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Prakrit. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya. Praputamapya Kushalan Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya Krutai Tamiti. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya Krutai Tamiti. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya Krutai Tamiti. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya Krita Kuru. Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Praputamapya Kushalan Purusho Pratya Krutai Tamiti. I'll take it. So that was number 2. Now I'm going back to the original. Na Krutai Tamiti Deshum Durusheho Kalma Vishayatama Pananam. Just double checking because that, if that, calma, yeah. La pata eva pararu pena temaru pararu pena temaru pamiti. Number 3. No natama. No natama. Natama. So there's another character in between this. No nat. Yeah. Pararu peno natamaru pamiti. Pararu peno natamaru pamiti. Sounded exactly the same. Atashicha turugu daishana shakatiyo. Turugu daishana shakatiyo nitya shaktiyul nityatavadana diho. How do I read this? Yeah, go to that. Turugu daishana shakatiyo. Turugu daishana shakatiyo nityatavadana diho. Samyogo. That's yo, right? Yo. Samyogo. Vyakhyata iti. Tata chokutama. Taimino manadi samyoga de taimamatra no mapyanadiho. Samyoga iti. I'm tempted to read that again. Taimino manadi samyoga de taima. Taimino manadi samyoga de taimamatra no mapyanadiho. Samyoga iti. The first time was better. Okay. 23 is also another long sutra. I stopped at 1 hour and 45 minutes, no matter what. It's only 1 hour and 7 minutes. Okay. So that was 22. Why? Though it has ceased in the case of one whose purpose is accomplished, it has not ceased to be since it is common to others. Although the object of sight has ceased, insofar as oneself whose purpose has been accomplished is concerned, it has not ceased to be because it is common to others besides him. Although it has ceased so far as one fortunate man is concerned, it has not ceased in the case of unfortunate men, since their purpose has not been fulfilled. So for these persons it becomes the object of the action of seeing and receives its form of being as having the form of another. And therefore, since the power of seeing and the power by which one sees are permanent, the conjunction is said to be from time without beginning. And in this sense it has been said, the substances being in correlation from time without beginning, the external aspects in general are also in correlation from time without beginning. Yeah, it gets really interesting from now on. Has to do with severing the bondage of karma. Samyoga Namaste. Namaste. Nicotine. Otherwise. So the way I pronounce Sanskrit is mostly Aryan pronunciation. It's not, I don't pronounce it like an Asian language. There's a difference between na and na, and da and da, and na, ni and nui, and di and dui, and no and nuo. And it's got a lot of French sounding pronunciations in the original Sanskrit. Why? Because it's an Aryan language. It should sound European. It's the mother language of all Europeans, at least 90% of Europeans. Namaste. Samyoga Sabarupa Pitita Sayadam Sutram Prabhapurutte. Yeah. Sivasivami Shakatiyoha Sivaru Popalabati Sivaru Popalabati Hetuha Samyogaha. So if my Sanskrit sounds different than all the other Sanskrit you might have heard, I just gave you that reason. Purushaha Svami Turushiena Svena Daishana Tam Samyukutaha Tasmat Samyoga Durushya Siopa Lapatil Tiriya Tasmat Samyoga Durushya Siopa Lapatil Tiriya. I'm messing up this word, this character. Tasmat Samyoga Durushya Siopa Lapatil Tasmat Samyoga Durushya Siopa Lapatiriya. One more. Tasmat Samyoga Durushya Siopa Tasmat Samyoga Durushya Siopa Lapatiriya. One more. I keep messing up the last character, the last syllable. Tasmat Samyoga Durushya Siopa Lapatiriya. Sa Pogaha. Ya tu Tirashituha Sivaru Popalapatiha Sopabai Gaha Daishanakariya Basanaha Samyoga Iti Daishanam Biogasya Karanamukutama Daishanama Daishanasya Pratidvam Dubi Pratidvam Dubi Dia Daishanam Pratidvam Dubi Dia Daishanam. Okay, starting from here. Samyoga Nimit Damukutama Natara Daishanam Mokushakaranam Daishanama Pabadeva Mokushaka. This word here. Mokushakaranama Daishanama Mokushakaranama Daishana Mokushakaranama Daishana Pabadeva. One more. Mokushakaranama Daishana Pabadeva Vananta Pabaha Sa Mokusha Iti Daishanasya Pabe. Pabe, where are you? Pabe. Pabe. Manantakaranasya Daishanasya Nasha Ityato Daishanam Jinyanam Kaivalyakarano Mukutama Kim Chetama Daishanam Nama Kim Gunona Matikara Ahosabidu Turushiru Pasya. Not sure about this style. Yeah, okay. Ahosabiduru Ahosabiduru Ahosabidudurishi Rupasya Svamino Dashita Vishoya Dashita Vishoyasya Pratana Chittatasya Nutupadaho Svasaminan Durushye Vidyamane Yo Daishana Pavaho Gimaltabata Gunonam Ata Vidya Svachitana Saha Nirudata Svachitasyota Patati. This word here. Svachitasyota Patati. Svachitasyota Patati Bijama. Kim Sthiti Samskara Kushoye Kati Samskara Pivyakatiho Yatreda Mukutam Prathanam Sthitiaiva Vaitamanam Vikara Karanoda Pratha. This word. Vikara Karanoda Prathanam Syat Tatha Katyaiva Vaitamanam Vikara Nityatavada Prathanam Syat Upayatha Jasya Purutatiho Prathana Vyavaharam. I'll take one more. Pratana Vyavaharam Lapate Nanyata Karanonan Tareshivapi Kalpite Shiveva Samanashichalchaho Daishana Shakutireva Daishana Mityeke Pratana Syatma Kya Panalta Prabhutatiho Iti Shuruteho Saivabhotya Buddha Samaltaho. I'm tempted to say that again. Saivabhotya Buddha Samaltaho Prak Prabhutateho Purusho Na Pashyati Saivakarya Karano Samaltam. Durushyam Tada Na Durushyata Iti Upayasya Piyadaishanam Kaima Ityeke. Tatredam Durushyasya Sivatma Putamapi Purusho Pratyaya Pekusham. Two different versions of this word. Number one has two, so there's three different versions. What was the word? Purusha Pratyayama Pekushya Purusha Pratyayama Pekushya. Okay. And Purusha Pratyayama Pekushyoda. Purusha, why is it ending with Daishanam? Okay, so it combines these two words, and that's something else. Daishanam, I have to remember that. darshanam, darshanam. Purusha, purusha, purusha pratya, purusha pratyayama pekushu darshanam, purusha pratyayama pekushu darshanam. I'll take it. Number 2. What's that fuzziness? Pekusha mada, pekusha mada, pekusha mada. Pekusha mada. So there's another character there. Purusha pratyaya pekushoma, purusha pratyaya pekushoma daishanam. Yeah. Okay. Daishanam Turushya Taimat Turushya Taimat Bena Pavati Tata Purushasya Atma Putamapi Turushya Pratyaya Pekusham. Number 3. What in the world? Dhyayama Pekushya, Dhyayama Pekushya, Dhyayama Pekushya, Dhyayama Pekushya. Turushya Pratyayama Pekushya. Yama means the god of death. Yama Pekushya. Turushya Pratyayama. Turushya Pratyayama Pekushya. Turushya Pratyayama Pekushya. Yeah, okay. And this, I have to check if that begins. Or, yeah, pu. That's a pu. That looks like a pu. So now you know a little Sanskrit. Pu. Purusha taimatu beneva. Purusha taimatu beneva. Daishana mabata. Purusha taimatu beneva. Daishana mabapa sate. Nicotine. This really, really helps. Essential for Sanskrit studies in the modern world. If it were this word legible and it just, it consisted of just one version instead of 4 or 5 different versions, I would be using less. So just quickly giving you the summary of what yoga is in practice. So there's yoga, the practice, which is chanting and doing the exercise, and also the other part is studying. So that's why I do this. It really helps the other things, like they go hand in hand, and what you want to get to is liberation of the self, which is the God within you. Once you liberate the God within you, then you'll be like Yahusha. That's the real name for Jesus. Okay. Purusha taimatu beneba daishana mabapa ma pa sate. Purusha taimatu beneba daishana mabapa sate. And there is number 4. I'm scared. Benaiva. The benign. So this the syllable, this is ne. It looks like a ne, and the second version uses nai. Benai, bene, and versus benai. Purusha taimatu benai va daishana mabapa. Purusha taimatu benai va daishana mabapa mabapa. Purusha taimatu benai va daishana mabapa sate. Purusha taimatu bene Purusha Taimata Benaiba Daishanamaba. Purusha Taimata Benaiba Daishanamaba. Purusha Taimata Benaiba Daishanamaba Pasate. Moving on. Okay. Namaste, sorry. Daishanam Jinya Nameva Daishanamiti. Yeah. Getchidu, Getchida or Getchidu. Getchida Pidam, Getchida Pidat, Getchida Pidatati. Getchi, 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 Getchida, Ta. Getchida Pidatati. Itiete Shastra Kata. Pikarepahu Tatera Pikarepa Batu Bahu or Badudu Bahu to Bane Bamet Tatu Saiba Purushu no Hu Pikarepa Bahut. Okay. Tatera Pikarepa Bahutu Pikarepa Bahutu Pikarepa Bahutu Bametatu Saiba Puru Pikarepa Bahutu Bametatu Saiba Purusho no Pikarepa Bahutu Bameta Pikarepa Bahutu Bametatu Sa Pikarepa Bahutu Ba. I read it right the first time. I just didn't like the way I said it, and sometimes the Sanskrit doesn't let you say it twice. It's like a warning. It's like, you read it, move on. Tatara, I just can't. Pikarepa Bahutuba Metatu Saiba Purusho no. Alright, I'll move on. One more. Pikarepa Bahutuba Metatu Saiba Purusho no. Gunonam. Number 5. That's a 5. Guno Sam. Guno Samyoge Satara no Bishoyamu. Satara no Bishoyamu. Show, that's a show. Show, yeah. The intent of the sutra is to describe what the correlation itself is. The reason for the apperception of what the power of the property and of what the power of the proprietor are is correlation. The self as proprietor becomes correlated for the purpose of sight, with the object for sight as property. That apperception of the object for sight which results from this correlation is experience. Whereas the apperception of what the seer is liberation. Since the correlation lasts until sight is effected, sight is said to be the cause of this correlation. Since sight and non-sight are opposite to each other, non-sight is said to be the instrumental cause of correlation. Sight in this is not the cause of release, but the absence of bondage results from the absence of non-sight. This is release. Where there is sight, non-sight, which is the cause of bondage, ceases. Thus the perception, which is sight, is said to be the cause of isolation. And what is the so-called non-sight? Is it the authority of the aspects? Or is it the case that when in the primary cause, the mind stuff by which the objects are shown to the proprietor in his capacity as seer, fails to produce, there is non-sight, although the property, the object for sight, exists? Or is it that the aspects possess the intended objects? Or is undifferentiated consciousness, which together with its own mind stuff has been restricted, the seed for the production of its peculiar mind stuff? Or is it the manifestation of subliminal impressions in motion after the subliminal impressions in equilibrium have dwindled away, of which this has been said? The primary cause, if it existed on the one hand in equilibrium only, would be a non-primary cause because it would not cause any evolved effect. Similarly, if on the other hand it existed in motion only, it would be a non-primary cause because the evolved effects will be permanent. And since it does not act in both ways, it is ordinarily termed primary substance, not otherwise. Also, with regard to other suppressed causes, the same reasoning. According to some, non-sight is nothing but the power by which one sees. As the sacred word says, the primary cause acts with the intent of displaying itself. The self capable of illuminating all illuminable things does not, before the primary cause acts, see. The object for sight capable of making all kinds of effects is not then seen. According to others, non-sight is a property of both kinds also. From this point of view, the sight, although independent of the object for sight, requires a presented idea of the self, and so is a property of the object for sight. Similarly, sight, although not independent of the self, still requires a presented idea in the object for sight, and appears as if it were actually a property of the self. Certain others assert that non-sight is only the perception by sight. These are the alternatives found in the books on this. These many alternatives deal with the common subject matter, the correlation of all the selves with the aspects. Alright, is it 1 hour and 45 minutes yet? Alright, one more. Namaste. Yasutu Pratyakuchata Pratyakuchatanasya Sivabuddhati Sami Yoga. Just double checking this. It looks like a vu and it's supposed to be boo. How do I know? I read it 4 times. I don't remember everything, but kind of yeah. Tasya Heturavidya. Why is there a star? It's like special or something. Buddhati Samyoga Samyogasya Hetuhu. Ugh, so confusing. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna read, like, starting from here. Pusatake Buddhati Samyogasya Hetuhu Iti Patvo Vidyate Sa Brahmadikahu. And just, I don't even care. Just read everything. Vipariyaya Jnana Pasanetyarthahu. Vipariyaya Jnana Pasana Pasita. Vipariyaya Jnana Pasana Pasita. Number 1. Na. So he skips this word, which is cha. That is cha. Looks like a cha. Na. Karya nishatam purusha kyatim buddhatiha prapnoti satikara. Punarabaltate sa tu purusha khyati paryabasanam. And this has 2 versions. Scared. Purusho Nyata. Purusho Nyata Khyati Paryabasanam. And the third version. Sana. So it negates that is what makes it Purusha Khyati Paryabhasana. And I'm gonna combine the second version with the third version just in case. Purusha Nyata Khyati Paryabhasana. Did I read it right the first time? Purusha Nyata Khyati Paryabhasanam. Purusha Nyata Khyati. Purusha Nyata Khyati Paryabhasanam. Karya Nishitam Prapnoti. Charita Tikara Nivrittata Daishana. Manantakara no Pavanana Punara Valtate. Atra Kashachita Panundu Kopa Kya Nenudata Kavarta. Kartoyati Kashachita. I can't find it. Divided into two words. That's why I couldn't find it. That's why I don't read this version. Ashitita Shanando Ka. Okay, it is Ka. Atra Kashachita Panundu Kopa Kya Nenudu Kartoya. Kashachita Panundu Kopa Kya Nenudu Kartoyati. One more. Kashachita Panundu Kopa Kya Nenudu Kartoyati. Mugutaya Paryaya Piti Yate. Punundakarya Putra Apati Me Pagini Kimaltam Nama Nahamiti Sa Tamaha Murutasateha Mapya Murutasateha Mapatya Mutu Padayishyomiti. Murutasateha Mapatya Mutu Padayishyomiti. Tatedam Vidyamanam Jinyanam Chittata Virittatim Na Karoti Vinashitam Karishyati Ti Ka Pratyaya or Sha. Pratyasha. That's what's Pratyasha. Pratyasha. Vinashitam Karishyati Ti Ka Pratyasha Tatracharya, Tatracharya Deshiyo, Bhakti. Bhakti or Bhakti. Yeah, Bhakti. Nanu Buddha Tini Buddha Tireva. Mokusho Daishanakara no Paba de Buddha Tini Buddha Tiho. Takachan Daishanam Manantakaranam Daishananibal Bal Daishana Baitate Bal Daishananibal Daishananibal Tate Tatara Chittani Buddha Tiraba Mokushoho Kimaltamasatana Evasya Mati Vipramaho Mati Vipramaho. Just checking the last word. Yeah, okay. 24. How long has it been? Alright, so this might be the last sutra. I wanted to do more, but I should stop. But when there is a correlation of an individual consciousness with its own thinking substance, the reason for this is undifferentiated consciousness. In other words, it is a subconscious impression from erroneous thinking. The thinking substance pervaded by subconscious impressions from erroneous thinking does not attain to the discernment of the self, which is the goal of its actions, and returns again with its task yet unfulfilled. But that which terminates in the discernment of the self attains the goal of its actions, and its task done, and its non-sight repressed, does not, since the cause of its bondage no longer exists, return again. Some person ridicules this with the anecdote of the impotent man. He is told by his simple-minded wife, "O impotent, my wedded lord, my sister has a child. For what reason have not I?" He says to her, "When I am dead, I will beget thee a son." Similarly, since this thinking, even while existing, does not make a repression of mind stuff, what expectation is there that it will in the future make it cease to be? On this point, one who is almost a master says, "Is release anything but the cessation of the thinking substance? When there is no cause of non-sight, the thinking substance ceases, and this non-sight, which is the cause of bondage, ceases when there is sight. Then release is nothing but the cessation of the thinking substance. Why then is there this confusion of ideas of his that is so much out of place?" I might want to do one more. Yeah, I'm gonna do one more because it kind of completes what we've just read. Namaste, Heyam, Duhakam, Heyakaranam. No or num? Num. Ja, Samyoga Kiam, Sanimitita Mukutamat, Sanimitita Mukutamataho, Param, Hanam, Bhagatavyam. Tadapabhat Samyoga Pavo Hanam Tadudurusheho Kaivalyam Tasya Daishanasya Pabad Buddhati Purusho Sam Tasya Daishanasya Pabad Buddhati Purusho Tasya Daishanasya Pabad Buddhati Purusha Samyoga Pava. One more. Tasya Daishanasya Pabad Buddhati Purusha Samyoga Pava Atyanantiko. Yeah. Panantano para Panantano Panantano parama ityartha etadetanam tadaduru shehu. That fuzziness makes me insecure. Mananta Tanaparama. Why can't I find it? Dadu, sorry. Dadu, and it divided the one word into two, and that's once again, I don't read that version. Dadu Durushehu Kaivalyam Purushasya Shri Bhavahu Purushasya Shri Bhavahu Punarasamyogo Gunari Gun Purushasya Shri Bhavahu Punarasamyogo. Now I'm seeing things. I'm gonna stop at this sutra or else because I just read this wrong. This is a simple syllable. If I'm reading it wrong, there's something, that means I'm tired. Gunoirityartahu tuhakakarano niburitutau buritutau tuhakakarano karanoni noni tuhakakarano niburitutau tuhokopa tuhokoparamo hanam tada sabaru paparatishitama. This word here, I just read it wrong. Sabaru paparatishita, sabaru paparatish, sabaru paparati. It's only 3 more words to go, and I'm gonna use nicotine. I'll start from here. 4 more words. Okay. Namaste. That looks easy. Tada Sivaru paparatish toho Sivaru paparatish toho Purusha Ityukutama. Okay. Just done with the Sanskrit reading. Just gonna read the English translation and then I'm done. 1 hour and 46 minutes. That's my limit. 45 minutes is my limit. The pain which is to be escaped and the cause of pain, the so-called correlation, together with their reasons, have been described. Next, the higher escape is to be described. Since this does not exist, there is no correlation. This is the escape, the isolation of the seer. Since this non-sight does not exist, there is no correlation of the thinking substance and of the self. In other words, a complete ending of bondage. This is the escape, the isolation of the seer, the unmixed state of the self. In other words, the state in which it is not again correlated with aspects. Upon the repression of the cause of pain, there follows the ending of pain, the escape. Then the self is said to be grounded in his own self. Okay. That's it for me. Let me just make a note to myself. So we're gonna start from book 2, Sutra 26 tomorrow. And what page is this? Show the page. 106, so I don't get lost. Did I change the title? Yeah, I changed the title. Sometimes I forget. 25, 52, 20. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste. So I'm gonna do yoga chanting ASMR, hopefully in like 2 hours. So, and that's the most popular one. If you're just joining in from Rumble, the yoga chanting ASMR is the most popular one right now. And it helps you go to sleep. That's what I use it for sometimes. Okay. Thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you.